Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Justin, and we are here with our third recording of Kino's Journey, which I'm saying only because we are not recording them in any specific order, but the order that Henry has given us. And once again, thank you, Henry, for sponsoring these recordings.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Thank you, Henry.
as I understand it, this might actually be our last recording of Kino's Journey. It's up to them, but I think they've said that possibly they might move on to another OVA, or if they continue sponsoring us at all continuously, it's up to them. So they've hit us today with episode 12 called A Peaceful Land. I don't know if there's going to be another dark twist, because this world that we seem to be in is just continuously a dark twist after dark twist. Um,
Yeah, because that title would imply that it's not dark. But from what we've seen so far, this show does have some real fun darkness.
I mean, a peaceful land could just mean everyone's dead.
You're not wrong.
But first off, we have, of course, commenter Henry themselves from the episode Land of Adults. I somewhat enjoy the interpretation that Hermes' voice is entirely in Kino's head, yet I'm pretty sure he sometimes communicates with other people too. Even if this had never been shown, stranger things have happened in this universe, so a motorbike being able to speak isn't that hard to believe. Also, Kino just doesn't feel like the kind of person to have their trauma manifest this way. Their actions and beliefs are pretty grounded, I'd say. One aspect I quite enjoy about the series is the ancient fable like simplicity of many of the stories. In this one, for example, the rulers who came up with the surgery are briefly mentioned, but that's it. We don't learn anything about them or their motivation for doing so. Not that showing more would be a negative per se, but it's unnecessary for what the show is trying to achieve. Enough is explained to get the point across and the noggin joggin, so to say. Maybe it was too obvious to watch two episodes with dark twists one after the other. Not every episode will employ this structure, FYI.
Yeah, like I figured very much that was the case. I think I, a lot of what I've seen has been like classic simple storytelling, and a lot of the time that can simply end happy.
I don't know how I would phrase it. It is, as you said, and as Henry said, very simplistic, kind of like a folk tale. But I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say because the two episodes we've watched don't share enough characteristics that I can say like a broad statement across the whole series. Because the one was just like, we're going back to the pit to have a meal with these people who are trying to get their strength back after being holed up in a tent for so long.
Yep.
And it turns out we're eating people. And then there's the twist at the end where they want to take Kino to replace their lost goods that they've just eaten, and that doesn't share any real commonality with the Land of Adults, which is all about lobotomies and weird social norms and a, I don't know, weird look on outsiders.
So that is the commonality though. The commonality is the weird obstructed view of different aspects of the world. At least for at least from what I've seen with limited perspective on the show.
I mean, I don't know, because that is such a norm, I feel like, as to not be a joint thing, right? The idea that your society's norm is the norm just doesn't feel like a common thread because it's like a thread that's common for everyone.
But it's not common for everyone because if you have people who travel, they understand that there is no societal norm. And Kino is always traveling.
I guess maybe because it is Kino's journey, so
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard based on only two episodes to try and form a cohesive thought about the the overall structure of storytelling when it comes
Indeed.
to this.
Yes, it's one of those things where there is some inferences being filled in, but that's just what I've been able to take.
All right. Well, I mean, you have anything else you want to say before we go ahead and hop into this episode?
No, no,
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get on into it.
we'll do it.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I don't know what it is. I know I said it in the first episode, but this the style here that just seems so very familiar. And I think Henry themselves brought it up and it was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Again, the only thing that's still jumping into my head 3 months versus 2 months later is Serial Experiments Lane. And I recognize it does not look like that at all either. I also recognize that we haven't given you the breadth of anime yet in these couple of months for you to be able to point anything out. Also, this would be like era specific, and I don't think you and I have watched anything of that era.
I can definitely tell that it is era specific.
Well, I believe Henry themselves had said that this artist is basically like, I don't know if I don't remember their exact words. I want to say one of a kind. Like nobody else has art that looks like this.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's Oh My Goddess. Maybe this is reminding me of Oh My Goddess. Or for some of you out there, Oh My Goddess. There is some debate on what the name of that show is, despite it being old enough. Implying that whatever happened last episode was bad.
なんとなく
Yeah.
僕はね、たまに自分がどうしようもない愚かで矮小なやつではないか、ものすごく汚い人間ではないか、なぜだかわからないけど、そう感じる時があるんだ。でも、そんな時は必ず世界がすべて美しく、とても愛おしく思えるんだよ。だから、
Or we're not flashing back
た
to
とえこんな
episode
ことが
2,
あった
are
と
we?
しても、それでも僕はまた次の出会いや発見をしたいと思う。納得したかい？
正直言ってよくわからないや。
それでいいと思うよ。
そう？
僕自身も分かってないのかもしれない。迷ってるのかもしれない。それをもっと分かるために旅を
So
続
it's
け
just
てい
the
るのか
fact
も
that
しれ
we're
ない。
here at the tree and a fire and they a flashback of a gun shooting. I was like, oh, we're not back at the cannibals again, are we? Just flashing back?
僕は寝るよ。
Yeah.
明日はまただいぶ走らなくちゃ。おやすみエルメス。
おやすみキノ。
Also, I was trying real hard not to be thrown like I was last time, where I thought I got the wrong episode at the very beginning.
ありゃなんだいキノ。
人間の死体を知らないのかいエルメス。
Wow, what did I say? A
なんで
peaceful
こんな
land,
ところに
everyone's
たくさんの
dead.
ミイラさんたちが転がっているのか聞いたんだ。
It was definitely a possibility.
墓場にしては乱暴か。
ようこそベルデルバルへ。
I will say that did not help the whole
僕はキノ。
Kino's journey into
こっちは相棒のエルメ
post-apocalypse.
観光と休養で入国させてください。
ご予定は何日ですか？
3日です。あさってには出発します。
滞在3日と。終わりました。お通りください。
すごく簡単ですね。
はい。この国は今は平和ですから。あ、そうだ、キノさん。何かパンセーラーはお持ちですか？
ええ。
It's that kind of thing.
ほう。
もしかして持ち込み禁止ですか？
これほどのものをお持ちとは腕前もさぞかし。
読んだんさ
I
黒帯
don't
だ
know
よ
how to put
い
this
やー、
in
感服い
the
たしました。
best of terms.
ご信用でしたらそ
I
のま
feel
ま
like
持ち
this
込ん
might
でく
be
ださって
Germany
結構です。
circa
でもきっと必
1945.
要ないです。こ
Got
の
it.
国は安全です。国民も皆平和に穏やかに暮らすのが好きなんです。キノさんもきっと気に入ると思いますよ。はい。
This might not translate to anime as an example, but I'm getting very Uncanny Valley.
そうだ、キノさん。観光でしたらぜひ歴史博物館に行ってみるといい。この国のことがよく
I
わ
don't
かり
know
ますよ。
in
あ
what
りがとう
way.
ございます。ぜひ行ってみます。
Like the idea where he's clearly like, everything's great.
と
So
て
I'm
も
more
穏や
used
か
to
に
the
暮らしてい
uncanny
る国
valley
とは
of
思え
like
ないね
CGI that's close to looking human but
そう
not
でもないよ
human.
エルメス。
Yeah, more of the fact of like, there's stuff behind the door. It's good if you don't
どう
open
し
the
てそうな
door.
ったのさ
それはわからない
I
け
don't
ど
know.
と
They've
て
got a
も
whole
戦争
history
している
museum and
国に
it's
は
all out here on display.
Yeah.
You know, like a country that's proud of what it did.
何
ああ、軍隊の演習ですよ。ほら。
よし、次、come
Not pleased that there's a child
明日
one.
は戦争ですからね。
えキノの言うことも当てにならないね
Yeah.
次、come on、撃て。
ここが歴史博物館か。
If everything's out in the fucking street, then what are you hiding in the
戦争といっ
museum?
ても旅人さんには危険はないですから安心してください。そんな全時代的な戦争ではありませんから。
どういうことですか？
詳しくお知りになりたければ。
I wonder if the bodies in the pits are gonna rise.
あそこの館長さんが親
I
切
would.
に教
I
えて
hope
くれ
not.
ると思いますよ。
He says like a war, not like in the past. I'm thinking it's like a war on, like the war on drugs, war on terror, that sort of thing.
Got it.
But in this case, what I just said before about 1945's Germany.
我が歴史博物館へ。私が館長です。
この荒れ果てた土地に初めて人が住み始めた頃、ほんの数十人の小さな集落に過ぎませんでした。私たちの祖先は水路を引き、土地を開墾し、町を大きく発展させていきました。商工業はさらに発展し、それにつれて城壁も拡大していきました。現代に通じる我が国発展の基礎がこの時代に形作られたのです。
何もないところに国を開くのは大変な苦労だったと思います。私たちの国はその先祖の努力によって成り立っているんですよ。でも国が大きくなるのは良いことばかりではないんです。旅人さん。国が大きくなればどうしても他国との接触を持たなければなりません。中には不幸な出会いもあるのです。さあ、ここからが近代史のコーナーです。隣国レルスミアとの最初の戦争は今から192年前に起きました。両国の間に広がる丘陵地帯の領有権をめぐる争いが元でした。それは本当なら外交手段によって解決できる問題だったのかもしれません。でも人種、言語から宗教や生活習慣、その他すべてが違う民族が隣り合わせになると、お互いを敵視するのは簡単だったのです。戦争はますますエスカレートし、それに伴って新しい兵器も開発され、たくさんの人たちが死んでいったのでした。両国は思い出したように戦争を仕掛けては 国力が疲弊し、どちらが勝ったかわからないまま休
Oh, you
戦
might
す
be
ると
right.
いうことを繰り返してきました。今から15年前まで。
15年前までとおっしゃいましたね。
ええ。
今この国は豊かでとても安定しているように見えます。隣国との争い事はなくなったんですか？
今はもう殺し合いはしていません。
急に平和になった15年前に何があったんですか？
She phrased that in a really
それ
weird
は
way.
次のコーナーで説明するのですが、
Yes.
残念ですね。今日はもう時間がありません。
We'll just leave that a mystery.
キノさんたちはいつまで滞在されるのですか？
明後日出発です。それまでならいつでも。
それでしたら明日その答えをお見せすることができます。私たちがいかにして平和を作り出し、
Again,
それを維持してい
Uncanny
くか、
Valley.
直に
We'll
見学なさってください。
we'll tell you tomorrow.
何を見学するの？
戦争です。
I don't know. The fact that they emphasized the whole resource, the wasting your resources thing, and the fact that you said, "Oh, I wonder if the mummies are gonna get up at night" or something like that, just made me think of, okay, what's how you fight a war without resources?
話は館長さんから伺っております。今日は自分が案内役
Or
を
seeing
務
all
め
this
させ
is
ていただき
making
ま
me
す。
rethink that now
こ
too.
ちらのホビーへどうぞ。あのデコボコの荒れ地は車両じゃ進めませんからね。さあ、どうぞ。
But still, there's also the element of we don't kill each other.
Yeah.
Leru Smia の国防軍ですよ。
レルスミアってあなた方と200年近く戦争してきた隣国ですね。
ええ、そうです。今から彼らと戦争するんですよ。ああ、ご心配なく。兵士は誰一人死にませんよ。昔の戦争とは違いますから。
Oh, is it gonna be like that Star Trek thing where the computer fights a war and then the people just like disintegrate themselves? Well, the computer says that this city was struck, so all the people in this city are dead. So they walk into disintegrators.
185次レルスミア・ベルテルバル戦争を開始します。
あれはこの辺りの部族タタタ人です。ほら、ご覧ください。
Oh, we don't kill each other, we kill other people.
で、向こうがレルスミアの戦場。お、始まります。
Why wouldn't you move? I mean... They've clearly been doing this for a long time now. I understand some people can't move, but I mean, when your options are die or die, maybe choose the dying that's on your behalf and not this.
I'm trying to comprehend the world of Kino's journey from what we've seen.
It's like a bunch of isolated city-states that just went all weird, it feels like. So I don't feel like you could put any of the people that we meet next to each other. Like, imagine the land of adults being right next to these guys.
ただいまより計測の結果発表。ポイント10対9、勝利国ベルデルバル。
やった、やりましたよキノさん、エルメスさん。国に帰ったら大騒ぎだ。
What do you gain?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess you gain not fighting with the other really high-tech country, but what do you actually gain?
As a people, I don't know what they would gain. I get why the government would do it, because it'd be a great means of control.
あれがあなたたちの戦争ですか？僕にはタタタ人の虐殺か処刑にしか見えませんでした。
でもあれが私たちの戦争なのです。
I guess they must isolate the Tatatans, or whatever they are, in so they can't get away.
私は昔の戦争をよく覚えています。長年飽きもせず起きる戦争で何人もの人が死にました。何人も。私には家族がいました。夫と4人の息子たち。かけがえのない宝でした。でも今上半身をなくしたのは私の夫です。子供たちは父親の仇を討つんだと言って次々に志願していきました。最初に次男のソトスが狙撃され、次の日にダトスが地雷を踏んでバラバラになりました。長男のウトスは味方の砲撃で敵兵ごと吹き飛び、最後まで残った末っ子のヨトスはきっと生きて帰るからと言って出かけたきり、二度と戻ってきませんでした。
I guess the more fucked up thing is that it's all such recent memory that she can remember her whole fucking family dying.
Yeah.
そして一つの提案をしたのです。
それが昨日の。
And then it's her fault too. Great.
そうです。ただ戦争をやめようと主張するだけでは何も変わりません。人間はもともと競争心や敵外心、残忍さを持っているのですから、それをうまく発散することもできる方法でなければ。私がこのアイディアを発表した時、偶然にも向こうの国で全く同じことを思いついた女性がいました。
I see you guys found a hobby. It might have been the wrong one.
I mean, she's a monster. She took this all the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking, you know, if you had stakes in it, then maybe the deaths of your families would inspire you not to fight instead of finding a new reason to fight or a new way to fight.
そしてこれが最も重要なことですが、その時以来、二国間に国民が死ぬような戦争は一度も起きていません。
What we did was we broke our country up into multiple districts and then had those districts fight one another.
全て終わりました。お疲れ様でした。
質問してもよろしいですか？
I'm curious if they're just gonna let Kino
殺される
leave.
タタタ人はどうなりますか？
I mean, they're proud of it, so I don't think they fucking
家族があ
care.
ると思うんですけど。
計算してみてください。タタタ人の犠牲者の数はかつての戦争による私たちの犠牲者の数とは比べ物にならないほど少ないのです。
The Tartans or whatever they are might not see it that way.
他に代替案がありますか？あるなら教えてください。キノさん、平和には犠牲が必要なのですよ。そしてそれは絶対に私たちの子供であってはならないの
Conversely, you
で
could
す。
just not war.
お話ありがとうございました。
いいえ、どういたしまして。
That's an interesting statement, but
I mean, what would
as long
happen
as
if you
countries
sent...
exist.
Well, what if you sent your forces out there, right, to do the thing, and then both sides came back and said, "We won"? Who would know?
昔の人々が正しかったのか。
The soldiers would. It's a human pride thing.
Yeah, right, but the soldiers could all just agree.
あなたが もう少し年を取れば今の私の気持ちがわかりますよ。
そうでしょうか。
あなたがあなたの子供を宿してその子のぬくもりを自分の中に感じたときに。
Ah, but you forget, I come from the land of adults.
そりゃあの館長さんも家族を殺されてかわいそうなんだけど、やっぱりあんな平和はごめんだね、キノ。何
It
か起き
doesn't
てる
make
よ、
any
キノ。
sense.
旅人の持ち物だ。こんなにたくさん。
キノ。
That's a trap.
僕に何か用事ですか？
あなたにはこれから我々の村へついてきてもらい、そこでみんなの前で八つ咲きになって死んでもらいます。
どうしてですか？
我々の復讐のためです。
僕はあの国の人間じゃないですよ。
分かっています、旅の方。我々はあの国を憎んでいます。我々は何の意味もなく殺戮され、愛する人を埋葬することさえできないのです。だが我々は戦っても勝てない。そこで誰でもいいから、この場合はたまたま通りかかったあなたをいたぶりながら殺して、復讐心をほんの少しだけで
It's
も
fair you want travelers to get away, to tell the story of what they are
あなた
seeing.
方のお気持ちは分かりました。でも僕は死にたくはありません。あなた方のことは忘れません。ではこれで失礼します。
You're about to lose your heads.
I don't know how many bullets she has, though. This is technically one of those scenarios of if they all attack her, she'd be dead.
Oh, that just made me think of an interesting point. It's unjust for them to now stop the war. Because of what they've done to the I'm just gonna call them the Tatars.
So I'll keep on calling them the Tartans. But it's like, I think it's ta, and
そうだ。
I think so.
隣の国には行かなくていいの？
必要ないよ、エルメス。
So, at this point,
yeah,
they have created a society that is so vengeful and doesn't understand that peace is possible. Because they're literally like, hey, we saw you. We're now going to torture you.
Yeah, no,
but I'm not them. Doesn't matter.
They've created an enemy.
So if they stop taking them out and they grow, they're going to become a greater threat.
Technically, no. Technically, they're a bunch of villagers with pitchforks against a sci-fi military, so...
Oh no, so I'm not saying the sci-fi military people.
No, I'm saying that the Tatatans are just peasants with pitchforks versus two high-tech sci-fi militaries. They at best could kill a bunch of people in a town and then be annihilated.
No, but if the two sci-fi militaries say, we're gonna be good people now, we're not gonna kill the peasant, right? The problem will come from the peasants growing in population with this vengeful idea at the basis of those who are leading them, where it will create just a monstrous society unless it goes through a drastic change.
真っ先に思い出すのはあの国だよ。
あの国？
僕はそこでたくさんの旅人の分まで優しさを受けたんだ。だから忘れたことはない。人々の笑顔、それから 花の名前の女の子のこと。
Technically, your original name was the name of a flower. So she's gonna see whatever. I don't know why I'm breaking down an episode we may never see. Um, just I guess for Henry, who would see this, I recognize that the place she's talking about might bear a lot of resemblance to the land of adults, just without maybe the lobotomy thing. Also, the fact she sees herself in a different character, specifically in this name related. Anyway, back to what you were saying. No, that's what I meant. I meant that they would grow, and then they would seek revenge, and then they'd be faced down against two heavy sci-fi militaries that would just annihilate them completely.
Well, because eventually they would stop going after those two heavy sci-fi militaries. Once they got to a certain population, someone would be smart enough to say, "Hey, we can't take those guys on right now." It would get redirected somewhere else. So what they're effectively doing is, if they stop killing them, they're making Spartans.
Like I said, the world. We asked this question early on in the episode, and my answer was they're like city-states. Right? You're saying they would stop going after them. Well, they're the only game in town. We know Kino has to journey like across a continent to reach another place, or it seems like she has to travel a really long distance to find anybody else. So this is it. They're either going to get revenge or they're going to let it go, and they don't seem like the letting it go type at this point.
I agree with that.
It's just that when you started going into that, I can't remember the name of the movie. Oh shoot. Did you ever? Now I can't even think of his name. Did you ever see the movie Michael?
Michael?
Yeah, about the angel who drinks and everything.
No.
God, I'm really trying to remember the actor's name, and for some reason all I can barely remember. Look Who's Talking? The cab driver dad character in Look Who's Talking?
Oh, Taxi Driver?
Yeah.
No?
God, he's so famous, and for some reason I can't think of his name at all, and I can't think of any other movie. Grease? Did you watch Grease?
Oh, are we... John Travolta?
John Travolta. Now I can't remember why I was trying to remember John Travolta. God, what was the last thing I said? This is the problem with the train of thought. Is the train started somewhere. The problem getting there was such a hassle that I can't now remember why we were trying to get there.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was a waste of time.
We almost got there.
Yeah, now I remember John Travolta, but now I don't remember why. Any other thoughts from you?
No, I think we pretty much got into it.
Okay, well, if somebody out there has the presence of mind and, an understanding of me, tell me why I was trying to remember John Travolta here in possibly the final episode of us reacting to Kino's journey so that nobody else will ever know. That's the problem that I'm now having. That I was trying to remember something, and this is my last moment to get it in. Why was I trying to remember John Travolta? Oh, there's a movie John Travolta was in. Now I remember his name. I can't remember the movie, and I doubt you're going to remember it. So I am just going to Google real quick. Just because, as I said, this is like the last time. Maybe that I'll be able to bring it up. Battlefield Earth. Did you ever see Battlefield Earth?
No, but I'm aware of it.
It has the same feeling. What you were describing is what I anticipated you were going to go into. Was that the peasants were going to start stealing sci-fi weapons and tech and whatnot to attack these people with?
I think that would be a possibility. I think it would be more of a possibility that some other place that's not as advanced would all of a sudden get smacked with these raiders.
Again, it's the fact that none of these places are close enough to interact. Like, the cannibals don't talk about the lobotomy people, right? The lobotomy people aren't like dealing with the cannibal slave traders
that we're aware of.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that Kino is our point of view character, and she's not, like, telling anybody else about it, too, and she's a traveler.
Indeed.
Like, you think the lobotomy people would be like, yeah, we have a problem with travelers every so often. Some of them try and steal our people and sell them, or, nobody's ever talking about the problems they have with the people who wander through. The fact that Kino comes and goes as she pleases seems to indicate that these people don't interact very much.
It's true. And that, people, is why you should talk about your problems if you have to.
All right, with that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up for today. Once again, I have been Theta, this has been Justin, we've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?